Here. What's up, guys? Happy Monday, of course. I have a delivery like within 1 minute. It was taking forever. I was trying to get it before I flipped live, but man, I was like, man, I've already been stalling for 5 minutes. So in a second, I'm gonna go AFK. Got 12 Ghost and some protein powder from the vitamin shop being delivered. I have a feeling those ghosts are not gonna be cold, so darn. What's up, Andy? What up, Jake? You guys are doing all right. We're about to do some digging into tonight's slate. Game by game research. You know how we do it. Get the MLB Grind premium spreadsheet all set up, ready to go. Just imported our Vegas odds. Hopefully we make some good work today. 92 instant Marcus Semien. Yo, Marcus Semien had. Oh no, that's Xander Bogaerts. Never mind. Oh, value on Xander Bogaerts. Verdugo as well. To check out those other. Well, dang, I should have ordered a Naki snack. All right, so let's try this again. Give me like 1 minute. Gotta get this case of ghosts off my porch. It's too hot out there for it to be sitting. And we'll open the slate. Hey man, enjoy the music while you wait. Please hold 1 moment, please. All right, we're back. We've gone full off the rails lately. All right, looking ahead at some weather. No big issues. We'll go game by game in a minute. See if we need to add anything. So we got a 3-game early slate. So let's get to it, man. Get to it. Brewers at the Guardians. Brewers 4.5 run total. Guardians 4.2. Guardians lineup is confirmed. Stephen Kwan, Schneeman, J-Ram, Santana, Manzardo, Bo Naylor, Arias, Nolan Jones, and Will Brennan. But you have to call me Dragon, batting 9th. Neutral weather there. Freddie Peralta pitching against Ben Lively. Looking at pitching on this slate. Tanner Hack, Jackson Jobe, Chris Sanchez, and Matt Liberatore. Probably Sanchez and Peralta top of the pack here as far as talent. So in the grand scheme of this slate, gonna get to some Freddie Peralta at a pretty good clip against a Guardians team that is half and half, an aggregate 21.5% K rate, but it's really either these guys high strikeouts or they don't. It's Quan, J-Ram, Santana, Will Brennan holding down the fort, and then there's this incredible lane going from Manzardo to Nolan Jones to strike out almost 1 in 3. So Peralta's gonna have to navigate through a bunch of non-K guys, but on a 2-game slate, value is way more subjective out of your pitcher. You're just really looking to be one of the top 2 scorers out of 6, and I think he has a strong chance of doing just that. We'll put him at the top of the interest ranking. Ooh. And then Ben Lively, 17% K rate for him, 1.2 on the whip, 4.52 expected ERA, allowing some homers to lefties. So far against righties this year, not so much power, but it seems like that's more luck than anything, right? 4+ xFIP, 18% K rate. The fly ball rate is 10% higher than last year. The hard contact rate's gone up. The barrel rate's gone up. So it may just be this park help him out a little bit with 23% lower than average last couple of years against righties to allow power. So it could be a happenstance thing. But we like the Brewers as well. And then on a 3-game game theory, Freddie Peralta is likely just going to be automatically a top 2 owned pitcher. So if you wanted to be different, you could cherry pick or stack the Guardians. Obviously, Jose Ramirez makes a lot of sense from matchup, from any, he's matchup proof. And then you got a couple of interesting guys like Steven Kwan, who doesn't necessarily hit for a ton of power. He can, but he not necessarily that's his game. He's more of a contact guy, get on, but he can get on multiple times. Can steal a base, and he can be on base in front of J-Ram. So a couple handcuff options here. So I'm gonna go Peralta, Brewers. We're gonna get a Peralta projection going. Give him a 26.5% overall K rate. Ben Lively, we're gonna give him a 17 center. What's up, Rob? You doing all right? Oh man, dude, I got like laundry detergent. I just walked past the freaking washing machine. I think I use way too much laundry detergent, bro. Dude, please, great for Alta. All right, Vegas. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We didn't do a Sunday thing, but the interesting day of baseball. Nice of both sides to not put cores on the main plate. What's up, Ayo? Here. Got some juice going. Yeah, so I just ordered. I got 12 ghosts delivered. You know, that's my thing. So it comes in a case, but they don't store the cases of ghosts in the fridge. So the whole case in the fridge. I took one out, put it in the freezer. So maybe in like an hour, someone remind me, and I'll go freaking get the ghost. That caffeine going in these veins. That's pretty good to know that the vitamin shot. I also got some protein powder. That's good. Where are my outs? Hello? Am I blind? Hello? There we go. 16.5 for Freddie, 15.5 for. Take it. What's up, Lone Wolf? You doing all right? Here. Let's move on from this game. Let's go check out the Red Sox and the Tigers. Tanner Houck, Jackson Jobe. Red Sox have a 4.5 implied run total Tigers 4.2. Hawks not been that good. Sub 18% K rate this year. 7.5% barrel rate. Ground ball rate's really reasonable, and his righty splits aren't the worst to keep games at bay. 3.7 xFIP, 230 average allowed, 52% ground ball rate. Does allow a lot of hard contact, but it's a lot into the ground. Low line drive rate. He's really getting toe up from the flow up against lefties. So Kerry Carpenter, Colt Keith, Riley Green, more so Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green, kind of could take advantage of that. We don't have a confirmed lineup, or I don't have a confirmed lineup from either team yet, but that would be who would stand out the most. And then inversely, Job just hasn't found his strikeout stuff at the major league level. 16.5% K rate, 1.5 on the whip. The Red Sox, the hunting wabbits, and the Widowy, not the team I want to pick on. But they do fall off a cliff pretty quickly here. After Wilyer Abreu and the projected Trevor Story, Abraham Toro, Connor Wong, and Rafaela, all with less than league averages in WRC plus. So the stack is pretty top heavy. But I don't really feel the need to get to Jackson Joe, but crazier things can happen on a 3-game slate than a 7K pitcher putting up a usable score in Comerica Park, where both teams, have just middle of the line run totals. And that's kind of the story of the slate. So far, every team has between 4 and 4.5. The Cardinals are below 4. The Phillies will be 5. But if you're just spraying some lineups out there, not a crazy range of outcome for Job to be a top 2, but top 3, top 4. Seen some 19s in his stuff before. Got beat up at Coors, got beat up at Houston. Hosted the Royals. Royals kind of a good comp here. Not a strikeout team. He didn't manage to get a strikeout per inning against that squad. Did give up. He had a 7 whip or 5 hits and 2 walks, so he had 7 base runners on his account and still walked away with a decent game. So he was walking the tightrope, little teeter-totter, little LOB in his favor. But 3-game slate, you kind of have to play those ranges of outcomes. And this also could be a slate where you cherry pick 1 or 2, maybe 1 bat against one of your pitchers. And there's several bats to choose from against Job, Duran, Devers, Bregman, and Campbell. The Tigers bullpen, though, has been pretty solid. So if Job does end up surviving 5, maybe 6, it's not like we expect him to go crazy off a bullpen in Comerica. So how do we rank this out? Well, first of all, I think I am going to go Red Sox interest. It is top heavy, though. You know what you want. I think both pitchers are puntable, but I'm gonna go Tigers too, because I like Hawks lefty splits, and I like the I don't necessarily like the bullpen. I'm going Tigers too. Tigers offense is a little bit better than advertised, but I do think you can get away with some Hawk. Like I'm gonna put Hawk, and this is only on a 3-game early, just because you need pitchers in your pool. We'll say, okay, we'll let the projections tell it, but I do think Hawk, Job are puntable with risk on. And history tells me I want to go Hawk because of the matchup being more favorable. But man, Tigers have been kind of scrappy this year. But since the beginning of last year, better against lefties than righties. Only 2 guys in this projected, Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter, have worth mentioning WRC play. Let's go put a projection in 17.5 for 16.5. Job walk rates for 7.5. Job does walk. That's the problem. I'm gonna go 1,200. What's up, Tall? What up, Josh? God dang. I just tried to unscrew a cap on a bottle that didn't have a cap on it. So I need my ghost. It has to. I need it. You like a torque bomb, Jake? Certainly a tougher matchup for it. This guy's been allowing a lot of ground balls, and Not a lot of barrels. It looks like a juicy spot for Kerry Carpenter or Riley Green. Out of curiosity, how do they project? Kerry's usually pretty high in the bond detector when he has a solid matchup. 365, so got him a 15% probability. And Riley. All right. At 8. All right. Corey Seager at the top. Let's get some outs for 16.5 for Hot, 15.5, 15 for Joe. But that really. What would we say? 6.5 and 15, 6. I will. It's that green 5-star notebook. I should be big. What? Yeah, I will. That. What up, Ryan? Sorry, I missed you. Tigers being sick, coming back from Colorado, made me some nice loot betting against my Tigers, dude. It's always bittersweet to bet against your squad. Where's the tip jar? We do have super chats. Now there's somebody super chatted. I didn't get a note. Because I had turned noties off because it's that it would scare me. What's up, Cujo? You're doing all right. What up, Josh? Got a couple Josses. I feel like I've said Josh. Josh and all right. Last game on this 3-game early. We do have a confirmed Cardinals lineup. And it's looking like Newt, Mason Wynn, Donovan, Arenado, Ferris, Ivan Herrera, Pedro, Jordan Walker, and Jose Guerrero. The Lone Wolf with the $5 dono. Appreciate that, dude. Yeah, you know, we did all that to get monetized, and I just keep playing this music that getting me striked. But I don't care. Whatever. But I appreciate that, dude. 0.8. That'll cover like 1.8 Ghost, you know? A little Ghost fun. Caffeine. Chris Sanchez, he's really good. 28% K rate for him. $1.25 on the whip. 13.6% swing and strike rate. A 3% barrel rate. His changeup being Cardinals against the changeup. How does that look? Middle of the pack. And then Cardinals against lefties since the beginning of last year. Kind of middle of the pack. They do get the benefit of Citizens Bank Park. And it is pushing 80 degrees, a little breeze towards center. Mr. Roth mentioned this game. He did not. So, how do we shape this one out? Well, in the interest of a 3-gamer, Chris Sanchez and Freddie Peralta are going to look the best. The strikeout rates on the Cardinals are very attackable, right? It's not like insane high, but it's a flat. Other than Donovan and Arenado, it's a pretty flat 20 to 24. So almost a true 1 in 5 average. And that's what our median or our aggregate says. So it's a decent little spot there. We're gonna get the Phillies in here. The Phillies have the highest run total on this 3-gamer. Liberatore has been solid, sub 1 whip, 24% K rate, not allowing a lot of barrels. He's keeping lefties on the ground and in the park. And so far this season, the same for righties. So the run total, it may be including the bullpen. It may be something not expecting him to go deep, but also could just be, hey, the Phillies are pretty good. These WRC pluses, other than JT Realmuto, Johan Rojas, all really, really good. So they're just expecting the Phillies in the bandbox to do well. And I gotta say, there's a little bit of pushback for me in these numbers, these metrics so far this season, for Liberatore. Maybe we could look at Liberatore a couple. Coffee money, appreciate that, boss. That's some good coffee. A little mocha. A couple things for Liberatore. One, I'm gonna go look at home runs by park possibility. Citizens Bank versus Push. Different. Same. Freak is it? So 2 homers allowed on the season. If he was in Citizens Bank, he actually would only have 1 homer. That's funny. Yes, last year he would have had 4 more. All right. And then what about actually, what about Stuff Plus? Stuff Plus has been dead even. I think there's a case for Liberatore on this slate, and maybe the surface level variables like opposing team run total keeps his ownership suppressed, but there's enough here for me to get some strikeouts out of this lineup, get some run prevention out of this lineup. So I think he's in the blender, man. So let's go Liberatore, 24% K rate. Let's go Sanchez, 8% walk rate on Liberatore. Walks lefties at a really high clip. Just 2 lefties expected. Might meet in the middle, like a 5% walk rate. Sanchez got a 8. Over 4.5 prize picks. Let me give him an out projection, and I'll give you what the sheet says. 17.5 for both. That's on the spreadsheet gives me 5.9. That's over a 1 point difference. We don't know the confirmed lineup. It's absolutely there. Curious to see. I feel like there's been some crazy games this year again with Phillies against lefties. Lefties go crazy, but it's also been like Mackenzie Gore, guys like that. Philly with a 25% K rate, so 1 in 4 K rate. Everything kind of matches up. For 5 innings, or not 5 innings, for close to 6 innings. Yeah, over 4.5 does sound pretty good. Is there any juice on that? Was that kind of late in the game? I feel like there had to be some movement one way or the other. There's a little juice on the over in real life. So if you're going 4 or 5, what is it, 5 pick on prize picks, you're basically paying minus 118 odds. There's a little bit of value implied there. Spreadsheet agrees. So mathematically, I would say yeah. Mathematically. All right, let's open up the afternoon projection. Hello. Tanner Hawk came in second? Nah, it doesn't. I'm gonna give Liberatore 1.5 towards a plus. I'm gonna give Sanchez 3. I guess so, man. Vegas is not giving me deep outs for Freddie, so yeah, Hawk came in second. I mean, it's all decimals at this point between Hawk, Liberatore, and Freddie. Oh. Yo. And then stack ratings for these games. I was looking at the wrong game. Fetuses. L. Philly at the top. Then Boston and Milwaukee. No surprise on how that shook out, yeah. Almost in line with the run totals. 5 for Philly. Boston, Milwaukee. No surprise. All right, let's move it over to the main slate. We got the Pirates of Pittsburgh up against the New York Metropolitans. We got a 3.2 run total for the Pirates, a 4 for the Mets. Paul Skeens taking on David Peterson. Skeens a 25% K rate this season, 12.5% swing and strike rate, 4.6% barrel rate. It's pretty good. XFIP against righties, a little red. Everything else pretty green. On the Mets side, David Peterson, a 4.5 expected ERA, basically aggregated from the last 3 seasons, maybe a little bit more than that, but definitely since the beginning of last year. The whip over $1.25. That's being held up by a high average allowed to righties and a high walk rate to righties. Barrel rates at 5%. And yeah, it looks like righties are his bugaboo as a southpaw. This is a Pirates lineup that will be chock full of righties, but it will likely not include O'Neal Cruz, who, although lefty, is their best player. And then you're kind of taking a pitcher with some worries against righties against a right-handed heavy lineup with some worries against anyone. A lot of strikeout potential, almost a 24% aggregate K rate in this lineup. To cross match with a 20% K rate, we can hyper focus on his righty K rate and his righty walk rate, since there might not be a lefty in that lineup. It's kind of unremarkable, but the lack of talent on the Pirates is pretty evident, and Citi Field can maybe help him out. And the run total kind of is in agreement. There are a couple of bats with a chip in a chair against a left-handed left-handed arm. Joey Bart, Andrew McCutchen, two guys that come to mind. And then you're dealing with a lot of quad A and journeyman filling out the rest of the lineup. Brian Hayes maybe at the top. And then Paul Skeens is a really good pitcher, really bad matchup, and you're paying premium price on Fanduel. Curious to see how his ownership would shake out. We've seen Skeens kind of shove against tough matchups, and then we've seen him kind of fall against tough matchups. The Cubs and Dodgers are great, Exhibit A, Exhibit B. And this Mets offense is a tough. So I think you're just kind of betting on talent here, and can't really imply him for the win. I think it feels more like a DraftKings play. I think you kind of can go double coined here. Try to shake it out. How do we? Go Skeens. I think we do get some David Peterson, and I'll go Mets Substack. Don't know that I get to a Pirates. So that 25% K rate for Skeens, 21.6 walk rate for Skeens, 7.5. Peterson also at 7.5. They got him favored, and he's 200. I'm gonna give him 18. I'm gonna go with Vegas. Half here. I'm gonna give him 2.5 US, but I don't know. Yeah, I just don't got the warm and fuzzies, right? Peterson, I'll give him 2. 6.5 K prop. That's a little high for me to bet against the Mets. Guess I would really like to see the lineup, but this hasn't been like 33% K rate scheme, you know. So I feel like that's too close to call. The spreadsheet like schemes for 6.38, so the spreadsheet actually is decimally under the 6.5. But I put more weight on this year's K rate than last year. If I would have met in the middle of last year, I'm sure it would have been a little bit more even. I just think that's the proper line. What we got. Move on. Nats and the Braves. Nationals coming in with a 3.7 run total. Braves 5. We got Grant Holmes taking on Jake Irvin. Irvin 5.5 expected ERA, sub 17% K rate, 13% barrel rate. That's not what you want. Really struggling against lefties. I power allowed to lefties last 3 years. This year we've seen higher fly balls, not that much higher, but 7% higher fly ball rate, which is come directly from his ground ball rate. Line drive rate's about the same, and like we said, the barrel rate's up. So for Irvin against lefties, that's a problem. Luckily for him, there's not a ton of Braves lefties, but Alex Verdugo, Matt Olson, and I guess you can make a case for Ozzie and Michael Harris, but it's really Verdugo and Olson, but really Olson. And Olson has technically hit 2 homers in the last week, although one of them was a broken arm. I don't mean to laugh, but that's what it was. And then he got one against Pittsburgh. So the Olsen should project pretty well in the detector. Is 0.95 with 15% probability. We give him a fair odd of 532. The market's giving him 370. You're not get a great deal there. Yeah. Against righties, Jake Irvin can allow some power, but he does have an elevated ground ball rate that could kind of troll you a little bit. Braves, much like the Phillies, kind of a respect 5 implied run total, and the Nats bullpen, just not it. So, because of that, I think the Braves are introduced into our interest ranking in this one. And then Grant Holmes, a 1-4 K rate this season, 4.37 expected ERA, 11% swing and strike rate, and also an elevated barrel rate. Now with the Nats, barrel hitters, power hitters, pretty concentrated. James Wood, DJ Abrams maybe, but James Wood's the guy I always look at instantly. If you find a pitcher that allows barrels and doesn't strike out a ton, Woods looks so much better. Now Grant Holmes does strike out lefties at a pretty good clip, 25%. So not necessarily a look at me matchup, but it is a spot to look at him. And then I saw a stat yesterday that said Josh Bell is one of 2 qualifying hitters and not hit a double yet. Not that that like really matters for what we're talking about, but I do kind of want to confirm. Qualified. Oh, he hit one. Did he just hit one yesterday? Oh, Josh Bell. He hit one yesterday. Hey, that's good for him. Go Josh Bell. Shout out Josh Bell. He's a double machine now. What up, RC? I think the other one was and who was the other one? I think it was, I don't know, but it looks like everyone got one. Oh, wait, Mike Trout only has one double? God. Maybe it was Matt. All qualified hitters got doubles now. Let's go. Shout out. I think we get some Grant Holmes, but I don't love it. The Nats team usually a little bit more scrappy than this, but we're getting almost a 21% aggregate K rate. But that really hasn't been the case. Maybe it's expected. I don't know what different. 1% rate this year. Maybe, I don't know. I just had this like, maybe it's against lefties. I don't know. I just had this respect in my head. The Nats K rate, but they are the pack. Maybe they started out hot. All right, I'll take a little Grant Holmes, a little bit. 104 K rate, team with a sub 4 run total, couple of power bats to get around, a couple of respectable WRC plus. Grant Holmes. Let's do it. Get some spin. Let's go 5. Can't Walker 7 Grant. Well, he does walk. I tell you what, they'll take their walks too, huh? Well, I guess is it just it's Woods and Nate Lowe will take their walks, I guess. Something's different. Something's missing, yeah. Brain needs to brain real. Ranges. Cool. Get outs. Don't have outline. That one have weather? Few storms in the general area, delayed possible. But low weather risk. Off. Link. All right, I guess I'm just gonna throw 15s on him. Put some 15s on him. Grant, I feel like I might be able to squeeze. Give him 16.5. Oh yeah. Yeah, what up, G Money? Doing all right. Shout out to the almost 50 you guys hanging on a Monday afternoon. Love, appreciate that. He hit that thumbs up. That'd be cool. That'd be pretty lit. I say lit. Not cool. Marlins 3.4 run total. The Cubs 5.4. Yeah, Cal Quantrill taking on Colin Ray. Quantrill, despite going 5 strong against the Dodgers, not somebody I will ever pitch. Immediately interested in the Cubs offense. Immediately getting that Marlins bullpen to help back up a bad starter. And I love Pete Crow Armstrong in the leadoff spot. Those of us with video game connections have been doing this for a while. But shout out Cubs getting it in there. This 1 through 5 of the projected looks so good today. But really, anyone against Cal Quantrill. Oh, I think it was Nico Horner. I think Nico Horner was the other one that didn't hit a double. You get one? He got one yesterday too. Nico Horner and Josh Bell both got doubles. Nice. Shout out. Shout out them. Maybe that was the whole point of the tweet I read. I know he's been hitting doubles. I don't know, man. I don't know what I read. It definitely involved Josh Bell. All right. Cubs stack for sure. Oh, don't give me. I don't want to lie anymore. I give up. Give up. Maybe it was Xavier. My brain is trying to figure this out right now. Sorry. Xavier. All right, I give up. Throwing in the towel. Let's get a pitcher projection for Quantrill. 16%. Colin Ray. 20%. Feel like we're about to fight the final boss. 3%. It's got 12% walk rate to lefties. Couple lefties in there. More righties than lefties. We'll go 8% at all. Colin Ray. 5%. Get some outs. 14.5 for Quantrill. 17.5 for Ray. Ray's kind of got a I don't know. You don't love playing his stats specifically, but this matchup is good enough to attack, I guess. A lot of strikeouts concentrated on 4 guys. Rest of the lineup a little bit more scrappy. He might just get length more than anything. And at 7K, that's not the worst. But I'm going to go Cubs only in the ranking. Irvin 4K prop, Holmes 5K prop. I don't ever want to bet a Jake Irvin strikeout prop. But it did give me 4.68. And for Grant Holmes, I got 5.5. So I guess there's a half a point discrepancy kind of between them, but I sweat Jake strikeouts. Grant Holmes, I'm a little bit more inclined. I'll probably wait for the confirmed line. Yeah. All right, Cubs. Cubs are just a really good, complete, solid stack. A lot of power, a lot of OBP, a lot of OPS, and a lot of stolen base potential here. The Cubs are looking really good here against Quantrill and a bad bullpen. A lot of power to righties allowed, and I've been at the Seiya Suzuki slot machine. Today should be the day to neutralize his 30% K rate and allow him to put some balls in play, maybe some balls over the fence. So if you've been with me on a Suzuki slot machine, it should pay out today, hopefully. Where does he stand in the bomb sector? Or any of the colors? Kyle Tucker's at the top. Seiya Suzuki's up here, 3.92. We're giving him a 16% probability to homer. That's a plus 538. You can get him at the market at 400. So not a great bet, but he is in our top 20. Take it. Move on. Rockies and their new manager already got the lineup out. They know what they're doing. Brenton Doyle, Jordan Beck, Ryan McMahon, Hunter Goodman, Michael Talia, Mickey Moniak, Nick Heaney, Gill, or Trejo. We did get a Phillies lineup and a Tigers lineup. But after this, I'll go get that since that is the early slate. Some of you guys working on that. Rangers with a 5.3 run total. Yeesh. Via GLF roof, Globe Life Field roof, the Texas Ranger Stadium, they are reporting the roof to be open for tonight's game against the Rockies. Boots on the ground here in Texas. It's starting to warm up. It's going to be in the 80s today. So that's good hitting weather, I guess. But roof open. I'm not going to juice up the weather grade, I don't think. Because it's not like 90 degrees. It's going to be 90s and 100s Tuesdays and Wednesday. This might be the last time to get to open a roof. I don't know. But Texas, them Texans fine with the, so maybe we do open. But today, Chase Dollander facing a Rangers team that are trying to find it. He has not been very efficient at getting left-handed hitters out. 28 innings of work, a 3.21 home run per 9, 50% fly ball rate. This is making Corey Seager look just enormous in the bomb detector. I did want to go see if I could claim some of that on course. I want to go look at his away versus lefty, 1 homer, 3.28. Home versus left, 4 homers. So that's not to say he won't, but with such a low sample size, I'm just trying to get as much context and information out as possible. But away versus lefties, a 70% fly ball, 20% pull, 50% oppo. So I prefer higher pull than not, and just a 10% hard contact rate. Where at home it's 40.5. But that I don't really care about. It's more so, I don't know. Anyway, he's struggling to get lefties out. So Corey Seager's at the top of the bomb detector. I don't even have a market odd for him, but we got him at plus 459 at 18% probability. I'm gonna assume he's gonna be like plus 300 or worse. If got one, the old DraftKings, not on here. Day to day. Seager's out of line for Sunday's game. All right, but he may not play. All right, keep an eye on that. Cool. Of course, they want to wake up against the Tigers. Dude, Marcus Semien, he lives? Question mark? What's going on there? I thought he was dust. I thought he was done. He had a homer yesterday. I was like, he could do that? No, I don't know. I know Dolander sucks. But if the Rangers don't shoot up Corey... Oh, Jock Peterson got one too, didn't he? Oh, dude, I would... Oh, man, that's gotta hurt. Tigers fan. Y'all saw a Jock Peterson and Marcus Semien homer? I don't mean to laugh. But... Wow. I'm laughing. If there's no Seager, I'm a little less excited to stack it up against Dolander, but man, this is a kick 'em while they're down team. Rockies fired Bud Black, their bench coach. Team's in disarray. They're literally the worst team I think of all time. At least they're certainly on pace to be worse than last year's White Sox, and they just suck. And we say it all the time. So all that to not be sure if we're gonna play the Rangers offense against Dolander, but we are sure we're gonna play Tyler Mahle and his 20% K rate against this team. This team is awful. 10% swinging strike rate. Maybe we kind of look. It's almost like not even worth splitting to Adam, dude. I'd probably pitch one of you guys at this point. But we go to let's go to game log and see if we're seeing a increase in stuff. So we'll go plate discipline. No, it's all over the place. 4.5% swinging strike rate, 11%, 5, 6, 9. So this has certainly been a matchup that favors him. He has been. All right, if you don't believe in home road splits, close your ears, earmuffs. He has been way more swinging strikey at home than on the road. There's one game here against the Dodgers, and they're the Dodgers. But Boston a 5% or 4.5% swinging strike rate. Oracle 5.7 and Chicago 8.5. Home has been better. Look at his at home this season. The ERA of 0.7, on the road 2.65, 146 average allowed, 27 strikeouts in 25 innings at home versus 5 and 17 innings on the road. Now, back in the day, I used to have home road splits as part of the spreadsheet, but you have to understand, like, I think the park with the most sample size. So I guess what I'm saying is, I think there's something in home splits because you get that park, you get the batter's eye, you get the dimensions, the field dimensions. Some mounds feel different. But the away splits not so much because it's just scattered. It doesn't mean as much. So I took them out because I thought there was a lot of noise in away splits. And not that there's not noise in home splits, especially when we're 15% through the season. He's been better at home, and it's the Rockies. So no matter what happens today, or if he has a good game, it doesn't mean anything towards that because it's the Rockies. But it is a mental note here that he's been much better. So let's get that queued up against the Rockies. That's going to look really, really good. And Dolander, a 19% K rate. Let's put that in the spreadsheet. Tyler Mahle. Go ahead, 19%. I'm gonna give him a 20. I'm gonna give him a little of that. Who can walk rate? Kind of same for hitters, you know. I don't know. I've just been on fire since firing the hitting coach. I always wondered how much that, like hitters, change slightly, or I don't know. Yeah, I would be fascinated to kind of. I should do. Seems like I don't know. Maybe basketball's the least. I don't know. What sport do you guys think is like coaches matter the least? Maybe it's basketball because there's a lot of egos and one-on-ones, but like baseball, man, you can only coach a bad player so well, and then a good player doesn't need you. Like I can't tell Juan Soto how to swing a bat. I don't know. But yes, you're not wrong. They have looked better. Let's get Dolander. $17.5 for Mahle. We're gonna push that to 18, 14.5. I'll give him 18 or I'm gonna give Mahle 3. Ooh, wrong guy. 3 towards a QS. Dalby doesn't have catcher eligibility. Hey. The first base. Stemming in 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that. Ugh. Maybe. Did your thing, dog. All right, I'm gonna get the tidy up the early slate real quick. We did get we got everything but the Brewers for the early slate. So those of you that are trying to fire off in that, Red Sox lineup is out. Duran, Devers, Breggy, Campbell, Abreu, Story, Oro, Wong, and Rafaela. It's exactly as we projected. Gary Carpenter, Glaber, Riley, Torkelson, Street, Dingler, Sweeney, Baez. So Baggers lineup is as projected. Phillies lineup: Trey, Harper, Waba. Warber's been on fire. Nick Castellanos, Muto, Alec Boehm, Sosa, Wilson. All right, everything is as projected. All right, let's go back into Astros game. Yeah, and like, I don't know. I guess first base coaches can like block deliveries for the pitcher or whatever. But, like third base coaches, keep going, stop. Like, man, you could basically put everybody out there, put players out there. Whatever, man. It's a beautiful game. Royals and the Astros. Royals with a 4-point run total. Astros 4.2. Michael Wacha taking on Ryan Gusto. Gusto with a almost 25% K rate so far in 27.2 innings. Pretty even on both sides. High xFIP to both sides of the plate. A 2.38 home run per 9 to lefties with a extremely high line drive rate and a lot of red. Fly ball rate is up. Hard contact rate is 31%, which is whatever. And then ground ball rate's pretty low. So he's kind of got a can't get lefties out problem in this Royals lineup. Pascantino's been meh. Mike Massey meh. Kyle Isbell, sneaky 9-hole hitter. Like he's popping homers. The sneaky rate, but for the most part, his stats should be all right. As far as like not getting smoked by lefties at a high clip. But this is a Royals team that doesn't strike out a ton, so his 25% K rate could be in danger. Inversely, Michael Wacha, 18% K rate. We know what we get out of him. He's just kind of a good real pitcher, inning eater, get you over. And this Astros team without Yordan Alvarez, pretty righty heavy. And you look at Wacha's righty splits, a 190 average allowed so far this season against righties, keeping the ball in the park and the ball on the ground. And that carries over from last year. And we've seen a reduction in hard contact to righties as well. So he could just be an annoying inning eater, not really mean much for DFS, but also have an ability to kill a stack on the Astros side. So kind of, I want to look at Gusto anytime a pitcher gives me a 1-4 K rate with a decent enough underlying metrics to back it up. But I don't know that we can extrapolate a ton of upside in this strikeout match. So this might be a game I just don't touch and hope that it's 3-2 nothing. Let me get your projections here. Let's go 18.5 for Wacha's K rate, 5 for Gusto, great for Wacha. We're just gonna only focus on his right, which means I could almost give him a 20% K rate. I'm gonna leave it where it's at though. It doesn't. Let's go 7.5. Definitely 7.5. And then Gusto, give him 7. What we got on outs? Yeah, how long has it been? I don't know how long we've been live, but I wonder if my ghost is ready, 17.5 for Wacha. Wacha might be like a Fanduel play, but nah, we got Michael King coming up. That's the guy for me. Give him the thumbnail. Gotta rep him. Let's give 15 for Gusto, 17.5 for Wacha. I'm gonna give Wacha one. Go power. I was just wondering about that. Yo, you have we been live for like an hour yet? What time is it? 15? Almost an hour. I don't know how long it takes for a drink to freeze, but I feel like it's ready. Dad, let's go get this ghost. I'll be right back. Yeah, we're back. All right. We're good on that projection. By the way, chat, got my baby. My baby. Oh, yeah. Ghost orange cream. Quickest way to my heart. Move on to the next game. We only got 3 games left. And the next game I like. Angels, you say Kikuchi taking on Michael King. Angels have a 3 implied run total. Padres 4.2. You say Kikuchi coming in with a 21% K rate, 8.6% swing and strike rate, $1.50 on the whip, being heavily inflated by his less than stellar righty splits. 277 average allowed, a 1.56 home run per 9 allowed. He gets lefties out. Padres going to come out more righties than lefties, but Luis Arraez, a hard strikeout in himself. Jackson Merrill also doesn't strike out much, and neither does Jake Cronenworth. So not a ton of power in this lineup, and we know that the Padres, for whatever reason, in the last year or two, just aren't that great against left-handed pitching. But I'm willing to take a shot on Tatis, Machado, Xander Bogaerts being just fine here. Bogaerts, I think, my first glance on the bond detector earlier, looked like one of the best potential value plays for individual betting of homers. Yeah, X going. Yeah, so we had Bogarts in this matchup and bullpen at a 15% probably. Or what? Oh, guy, a freak. Okay, 15% probability to homer, 3.73 on the bomb detector, which would be a fair market odd of 570, and you can actually get them at least 800 on Fanduel, maybe even better at other spots. DraftKings. Ender. 700. So it's gone down. It's not as juicy on DraftKings, but that's still better. So Sander might get him one night. And then Michael King, dude. Top of the interest ranking, 27% carry rate on the season, 11% swing and strike rate, sub 1 whip. Just doing it all. This is an Angels team limping, and I mean limping, with a ton of strikeout potential in this lineup as well. WRC pluses are just whatever. Yohan Moncada, you gotta give him some credit. This is not where I want him, but I do want to point out I've been putting some pennies on Moncada's props, and he's like coming through for me lately. Hardly ever dropping a 0, and I don't know what he is today, but I've been getting him at like 4.5 fantasy points on PrizePicks, and he's just been coming through. I don't want to take any action against Michael King, but something to keep in mind. Moncada maybe fun value play for PrizePicks grinders, but Michael King easily top of the interest ranking here. And then Padres stack, yeah. Try to beat up Kikuchi, try to get in on this Angels bullpen, and kind of go from there. So Kikuchi. Didn't like the grape. Dude, the orange cream, man. I don't know what they did. It's so good. The grape was alright, but yeah. Blue Raz, I don't mind. But I just ordered a 12 pack. It goes from supplement store. And sometimes I could taste, I don't know, it's like an aftertaste that tastes like, I don't know, like peanuts. But that's only on some. So sometimes I feel like they get not perfect batches that get sent out. This one tastes fine, so love it. Good orange cream. Like if they didn't have, I would say if they made this as a drink that wasn't 200 milligrams of caffeine or whatever's in it, I would just be drinking it. But I literally can't, so whatever. It's so good though. You guys are into, if you're not into energy drinks, don't do it. But if you're into energy drinks, you're looking for something that's a little cleaner and just tastes good, try the orange cream. My thing, dog. Thing. What are we doing? K rates for Kikuchi, 21%. Michael King. I have to cycle on and off. Right now, I'm probably only on 1 a day, but I'll get to the point where I'm at 2 a day, and then I got to stop for a couple weeks. So this is my first ghost in probably 2-3 weeks. So we're cycling back on. It's like steroids. Oh, that's stupid. 21% K rate for good night. I appreciate y'all are like y'all are just cool. I'm able to just like leave and come back. Like that. It reminds me of my Twitch streams where I just, all right, be right back, Chad. Come back. Like everybody here is just laid back. No pressure. 27% K rate for King. 8%. Outside Magic King. Maybe 8. Gucci, I'm gonna guess 14.5. Oh, they give him Kikuchi 17.5. I mean, that might be on this sour lefty splits for San Diego. Good for him. Give Kingy 3-point surge to Q. Yes, I'll give Kikuchi 1 just because they're 17.5. It only applied for 4.2, so That would imply Kikuchi at 0.7 earned run, so he's kind of hanging in there for possible quality start. Cool. Moving on, Yankees and the Mariners. Oh my God, Aaron Judge in Seattle. He's got some long ones out there historically. Emerson Hancock. Emerson. It's Herbie taking on Clark Schmidt. 4.4 run total for the Yankees. Clark Schmidt, 21.6% K rate on the season, 12.2% swing and strike rate, 5% barrel rate. Some good, some bad in these numbers. What's really bad is lefty splits. 318 average allowed to lefties, 2.45 home run per nine, 15% walk rate. They do have some lefties here. JP Crawford, Jorge Polanco, Cal Raleigh, all dangerous bats here, especially Polanco and Raleigh to take advantage of that. Raleigh Tellez, if you're not going to strike him out, he's going to have a good opportunity to smoke one. So this is a matchup that could turn into a little bit of a slugfest, but it feels like the Yankees were able to reset a little bit in Sacramento. Although Fernando Cruz, I feel like he got beat up one of those games. But all of the good guys on paper, Luke Weaver, Fernando Cruz, then Evan Williams, probably available. Yarbrough threw 67 pitches yesterday. I'm gonna say there is a range of outcome where Clark Schmidt doesn't go long here. Bullpen is fresh enough. Let's go Yankees. Get some Seattle interest. Both bullpens have been just fine. Yankees might come in with a little too much steam based on their Sacramento series, but they're just good. And Emerson Hancock, extremely contact prone, a lot of power allowed to righties. Does have a high ground ball rate to righties, but that's really not helping his case here, because still allowing almost a 330 average. So those ground balls are finding holes, and he's still allowing a decent enough power where if you're going to let Aaron Judge make contact, hey, good luck, bro. And against lefties, high average allowed. Not as much on the homer department. That's going back since the beginning of last year. Like I said, barrel rate's kind of respectable, but it's just a contact guy. And this is a dangerous team to be a contact pitcher against. So I can't see myself pitching him. Kind of stretch a reason to pitch Clark Schmidt. I would say it's since the beginning of last year, they strike out 1 in 4. So there's definitely some strikeout potential. Feels like this year they've been tightening it up. I'll go see if I can justify that statement. They're actually bottom 9 in K rate this season. So somewhere between last year and this year, so far we've lost 5% strikeout rate, which is a significant number, right? Especially when we're sweating 1. That's like implied 1.5 if you're stretching them 5-6 innings. So these numbers might look better than what they actually are, and that's maybe where hitting coaches matter year over year. I'm not like in love with playing some Clark Schmidt here, but I would understand it. You know what I mean? But for the rankings, I'm just gonna go Yankees and Mariners. Get a projection set up. Clark Schmidt, we're gonna 21.5% K rate. Hancock, we're gonna go walk rate. Walks lefties at a high clip, and there's a lot of lefties. So we're gonna put a lot of weight on that. We're gonna go 10%. And Hancock, we're gonna go 18.5. Juice on the under for Hancock, so we're gonna go 15.5. Work in the kitchen and drink way too many energy drinks, dude. Oh yeah, I've had some C4 too. I've had some matter of fact, not so long ago, was it them or Prime or both of them wrestled some shows where they sponsored us and they like loaded some drinks in the back. I don't mind it. I tried It's not orange cream. I think it's pineapple. I didn't mind the pineapple one. It was all right. We got one game left on the docket. Take a pause for the cause. Remind you guys what we've been doing all stream is update the premium spreadsheet at MLBgrind.com. This is the result of our research and also our tool, right? We use this to digest, consume game by game information, and then I hand input some stuff like K rates and out projections and stuff like that. But we kind of work together. It helps automate the process while still being hands-on, and it spits out our stack ratings, our pitcher projections, our home run projections, our fantasy projections, all that good stuff. If you guys want to add this to your repertoire of research tools, it is behind the paywall, MLBgrind.com. Click premium memberships. There's week passes, 2 week passes, month pass. No, there's not 2 week pass. Stop saying that. There's week pass, month pass, and the season pass. So you can get into that. Once you do that, you click members portal, and that'll get you the link to the spreadsheet and also a link to the Discord, the MLB Grind Premium Discord. And in that Discord, we've got automated updates. So if you're just the type to want to be in Discord and you don't want to have to refresh Twitter, we have channels that will post the tweets as they go out. Home run alerts, news alerts, the barrel alerts. So if you want to tilt when you played Bo Naylor, who flew out with a 101.5 mile an hour, 24 degree fly out, stolen bases, all that good stuff. We have that full way to support the stream, support the site, build something in return. The input we put in here. So this is so good. This is so good. Get to our last game of the night, then we'll see if we get some confirmed lineups updated, inputted. Call it a day. We will be back tomorrow. I think instead of doing 2 p.m., I'm doing 2:15. I know that extra 15 minutes is nice. Yeah, we got Justin Verlander taking on Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly, 18% K rate this season, a 20% K rate for Verlander. 4.4 expected ERA for Verlander, 4.93 for Merrill Kelly. Two guys that are just like okay in a pitcher's park, and you don't really want to stack against them, but you don't really want to pitch them because of the elements here. So I do think the D-backs are one of the best teams in baseball, and Verlander could be in for a long day. This is not a strikeout team. This is a team that great OBP, great OPS, great stolen base acumen. So this is a tough matchup for Verlander, and they certainly aren't a team that Verlander can go out there and mow down at this stage in his career. So I think I'm interested in D-backs, and this has been a slate that it's not like the last couple slates where we got 7.5 run totals. We don't have Sacramento. We don't have Colorado. We don't have Tampa Bay. We don't have Fenway. Yeah, we got Citizens Bank, but it's kind of like neutralized with two. Actually, that's not even on the main slate. It feels like pre-flop. This is one of the more neutral slates when it comes to elements, ballparks, and pitching. So on a slate that does give us cores in Cincinnati and all those parks, we'd hardly ever really be looking at Oracle. But I think the D-backs as the road team against hittable pitching, with what they bring to the table, especially the stolen base upside at the top of the lineup, I think we consider them a little bit harder today than normally. So I'm going D-backs at the top of the interest ranking. And then Merrill Kelly, he allows some power both sides of the plate, especially towards righties the last 2 years. That's happened. He's got a fast car. Might be substacking that though. D-backs bullpen is also bad, right? So I'm more interested in the offenses. But of course, none of us are stunned or floored if one of these pitchers turn in a usable stat line. And we'll look at the overall projections here in a second. But yeah, that's kind of how it's jumping off the page. So let's go Merrill Kelly, 18.5%. K rate for Verlander, 8%. Walk rate for Kelly. Kelly, 6.5. Verlander. Lineup 17.5, 16. And they're giving Kelly a long one. Giggity. So I'm gonna give 2.5. Alright, that'll give us a full set of projections. Main slate. 300 milligrams of caffeine in rain? I think I've tried that, but I didn't know it had 300 milligrams. God dang. Dude, one time I was walking around New York and I went to this newsstand and they had a fridge in the back, and my depth perception just looked like that was a monster. And I was like, hey, can I get that monster? So I bought this monster. And then, like, as the can comes closer to my face, it was like huge. And I was like, in my younger days, I was like, a big effing can. And then I read it, the picture of it on the thing. It said BFC, like literally as I said, this is a big effing can. I saw BFC. Oh, I get it. Literally, I remember going to I went to, I don't know if it's still there. It was a place called Bubba Gump's. It was like a restaurant that was themed around Forrest Gump, and the waitress, like, they wanted to take pictures with the can. I don't know. I guess they don't still make them. I don't know. But that's what I thought of when you told me 300 milligrams of caffeine. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of, god dang, bro. I mean, that's some pre-workout, which I guess is technically what Ghost is, but I wish it had a little less so I could drink 2 a day and not feel like I'm ruining my heart. I don't know. Alright, so now that we have the full main slate, let's sort projections. Make sure I got it. Hey, dude, I did not know it had. But yeah, I used to drink Monster back in the day, but I've since, I don't like anything with sugar in it. The creatine, yeah, there's a lot. Matter of fact, in my local HEB, they don't even have these shelved with the energy drinks. You gotta like go to the health aisle, which is stupid. Still, okay, you know what I mean? You can't just go to the energy drink aisle. Get a Ghost at my HEB, or at least a local couple of. All right, main slate spits out Michael King, Tyler Mahle, David Peterson as your top 3. Then you get into Ray. It's just, it feels weird to see Colin Ray above Paul Skeens, but that's the matchup for Skeens. And it's just a whole lot of, I don't know, bro. 6.8 Ks on the projection for Michael King. 6.5. No real crazy strikeout projections. Let's go get the main slate stack rating set up. But Ghost is the only thing that's not water or the occasional coffee. So that's how I justify it. Yeah, that's how I feel better about myself. What am I doing? I can't remember the last time I pop, as you weirdos say. All right, comes out Braves, Yankees, D-backs are third. Mets, San Diego, KC. So yeah, like I said, man, none of these teams have like amazing matchups. Or excuse me, Cubs and Texas are at the top. I didn't scroll down. That makes sense. And that makes, I think Cubs were my favorite. They seem like the easiest spot to get behind. Pitching matchup, Cal Concho in that bullpen. So does what you make pop with. I have friends from the north, they call it pop. And I'm like from New York, and I never call that crap. What are we doing? All right, we did get a couple lineups in. You guys got any anything you want to discuss, bring up, check out, throw in the chat. If you are getting out of here, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I'll be here for a minute, updating some stuff, but would appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that sub button. I'm on Twitter, twitter.com/gundacker. I haven't been rage tweeting Yankees as much. Kind of felt like I was clogging a lot of feet, and you're not like verified on Twitter. You just kind of. But I do check my Twitter pretty frequently. I have people DMing me. A Mets lineup confirmed. Not that many differences from the projected Nationals lineup. Abrams, Wood, Lowe, Ruiz, Garcia. Yeah, does anybody have a Crunch Fitness membership? I moved, so I've been carrying this freaking Planet Fitness membership for what feels like years. I mean, I haven't even gone it. They just charging me. And the one Planet Fitness close to my new house kind of sucks. We have a Crunch Fitness that's like 2 blocks down, 24 hours. But I don't know what to expect. It's just kind of like a dead shopping plaza. I don't know if they're legit or not. So yeah, I got some leans on that. Otherwise, I might just find stuff that gives you a. It would be real convenient for that place to not suck because it's literally almost in walking distance. Me, not gonna walk, but good. Braves lineup came out. Nothing too different there. Move in, Rock already out. Nothing else came out. Cool. Get the bomb detector resorted. Manny Machado second on the day in bomb rating. Tied with Jock Peterson, ironically, but just the memory of these stats go to beginning of last year, and Dolander's lefty splits have been rough. Augustine Ramirez is fourth up there. Evan Carter. Yeah, the Rangers are looking really good in the power model. That's a lot of Chase Dolander. All right. Anything else we need to unlock for the premium subs? I think we're good. Oh, I guess we can get the Judgy Ducker. Here, at this point, we're just waiting for confirmed lineups. We get going. I guess if anything, it'll be Corey Seager. I think it kind of crazy as it sounds might be shaking this. Looking on Twitter to see if hopefully he'll be all right. All right, chat. I guess that's gonna be it. Tomorrow, let's look at our schedule. Probably Mondays and Tuesdays been pretty steady Eddie. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be back probably at 2:15 Eastern, 1:15 Central. Wednesday, probably the same. I would like to just do 2:50. Oh man, Thursday's getting it. Thursday's probably gonna be an off day. The Friday, same thing. So 2:15 Eastern every day but Thursday. And but the calls Saturday would probably be the same as well. So it feels like right now Thursdays and Sundays are no streams. I've considered doing a pre-lock stream on Sunday, but I didn't want to get steamrolled by Stochastic. Like, I don't think you guys would be watching me Stochastic. Huh? Some of you guys, I don't know, maybe. But definitely everything but Thursday and Sunday for now. 2:15 Eastern. Yeah, what up, Rich? Seen Atlanta #1 in the stacks, but it doesn't seem like they're scoring much. Yeah, so what the stack rating is going off of. No, actually, they're not #1. They're #3. That was my bad earlier. When I refreshed it, it had two rows above. But so what the stack rating really likes to see is, and I'll explain it. Let me pop it open. Stack rating, one likes it fueled by run total, WRC plus split accumulation divided by 9. And then we add up and split apart like the bomb detector and the fantasy point ratings and stolen base ratings, stuff like that. So you're getting a decent chunk of ISO and WRC plus here, the matchup and the run totals there. And then also it's considering the bullpen, and the Nats have a really bad bullpen. So I think today, this goes with what we were just saying, today is a weird day where there's not extreme environmental positive elements that can make average teams explode, at least pre-flop. You know what I mean? Whether it be ballparks, Tampa Bay, Coors, Cincinnati, Sacramento, Sutter Health, Fenway to an extent. Like, all the top ballparks are not on this slate. And then a lot of medium to plus pitching is on the slate as well. You're not getting a lot of high run totals anyway. We've got, a couple fives, which is not like dang. The Yankees are at 5, Rangers are at 5.3. I feel like if that lineup comes out without Corey Singer, I see that go down. The Cubs stand out a lot because of their matchup. But I just think pre-flop, there's not going to be a lot of heaviness on one team or another. So a lot of teams, when you get to 5 to 5.5, kind of splitting hairs. So I'm with you. It's not fun to full stack Atlanta, but they are kind of half a point behind like Chicago, even Texas. In Texas, I'm not enthralled with at all. It's just Dolander's metrics, that bullpen's metrics, roof open, all that's helping. But I think if we take Corey Seager out, like just as an experiment for Texas, I don't know who it is. We'll just type Josh Jung twice. I don't know who his actual replacement would be. And if you take Corey Seager out of that lineup, Texas is still second. Oh, okay. I thought they would fall a little bit, but is cereal a soup? So in my mind, soup has to at one point be hot. I'm going to say no. Unless you're a psycho and you're boiling your soup. Then yes. Or you're boiling your cereal. Otherwise, I'm going to say no. Giants feedback game, baby sneaky. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You might be able to get away with some spots. But hey, I'm with you, Wig. Go with your gut. Like the Rangers are up there, and And the Braves, I feel like I'm a little bit more trusting of the Braves because the Braves park and whatnot looks fine, and this Nationals bullpen sucks. So I'm just kind of tapping that. What is the Braves schedule like? I guess they've had so they've been in a pitcher's park this last series. PNC Park is a tough park to get to generate runs. Then they hosted like Cincy. So I'm not sure who they saw in their series, maybe Green and the Dodgers in pitching. They should have went crazy in Coors. They kind of did. I see what you're saying. Oatmeal might be soup. If you're drinking water, if you're eating watery oatmeal, I don't trust you. I like it thick. That's our slate. I was just stalling to see if other lineups made it. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow at 2:15. Anything else for me though? I'll be here around the Discord. Tag me if you got questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. We did just get we already had that sign up. So I appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow. Hey, tell somebody you love them. If you didn't call your mom yesterday, do it today. I had some very sad ladies last night I was talking to, and I didn't realize how much a simple phone call means on Mother's Day. So if you forgot, go unforget. Love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.
Это фиаско, братан.